All right. So yeah, we gonna podcast my son. Why not?
What's going on?
So for y'all need to know, Adonis, soon to be 13, 12-year old adolescent, doing big things in the world. My next mini me, my young prince, he's gonna be next big thing in the world.
Yes, sir.
Look out for him. So yeah, you catch him on his own spot. Adonis is goat. He's got his own streaming. He's always up on Modern Warfare, whatnots. But
Yeah, check out my new YouTube channel. I'll be uploading I uploaded 2 videos recently. It's been a while, honestly.
yeah, so let's do some fun dad stuff, right?
Yeah.
So this will tell you how clueless like the average dad. I would call myself the average dad, right? Like I think if you're like in your child's life, like average dad, I'm the average dad. Like I'm the, you know, I work a shit ton, but I'm in my son's life
Yeah, man.
often. It's my dude. We have a very good relationship.
Mhm.
Almost to the point where it's like I say, I could. When I'm angry, my son knows what type of anger I am. I
Mhm.
have different anger levels. He knows. But anyway, it's like everybody has their thing. How you raise your children do you. I ain't gonna tell you what to do in your life. But you always ask questions, and sometimes you like center around stuff. Like he's getting to an age now where you to be able to start talking about more stuff that usually I don't talk to him about. Or I'm like, nah. When you get older, he's had that said to him a lot. He knows.
What do you mean?
But now seventh grade, middle school.
Yeah, man.
This is when I started to be you know, dad started being dad a little bit. You feel me?
Yeah.
Um, Getting a little older, started to do the old dad thing. So, what's it like being in middle school? What's different? I would pour you some whiskey, but I wouldn't. So, I love you.
Makes sense. I'll keep drinking on this.
You could go ahead and tell them what you're drinking on. Let the world know of
So
y'all concoctions.
I'm pretty sure what Jalen did was, I guess my little brother made this. I think he put Snickers creamer, hazelnut creamer, chocolate syrup, I think a hint of strawberry syrup, and then some whipped cream. Mix it up. It's actually pretty good. Like I did
It's a
not
grown
expect for
folk
this to
heart
be.
attack in a cup.
I didn't expect it to
Bruh.
be this good. It's actually pretty good.
So, being in middle school, he's getting into those ages. Like, yeah, I know my son well enough. I don't think I really need to have the bird bee conversation. We're pretty straightforward about those things.
Mm-hmm.
It is what it is. I'm that type of dad. But what type of you ain't gotta say no names. We ain't about to be out here like saying people's names right here and lighting you up. But you know, girls, what type of girls you into? I would guess now you starting to see different ones and react different ways, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let me get you some space over here, man. You on my spot?
I'm sorry.
Nah, you good. I'm moving you some space. You shit. You know what I'm saying? You on my show. You on my cave, man. You know what's up.
Yeah.
You know what's up with the studio time. You in there?
Yes, sir. Um. Okay, that's kind of hard. Like
So
I'm
let me
not
ask you this. Let me
super.
ask you this. What do you What are you into? Like right now, like when you notice you like the girl or you started to notice. Because now I'm gonna guess like you got to be having crushes nowadays. You know what I'm saying? Um. So knowing you having crushes or whatnot like that. My question to you is, what was the first thing that caught your eye to make you have that crush?
Well, I think as every boy probably does. Well, first they have to look somewhat attractable. Like I'm not going off of them all because of their beauty.
It's our face. You like what? Cute
Yeah.
face,
I
cute
mean, like
smile.
I can't have you like I don't want to worry about you like being like top tier beautiful. I don't want you also being like there.
You like a pretty girl for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, something you like. All right, you like your thing. That's what's up. You're supposed to have your own thing. You know what I'm saying? But like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Everybody. That's another thing. I don't think people tell people. Like, I'm pretty. Like I said, I'm straightforward with my son, as you see. Like, we going. My son's my son, so I'm pretty comfortable having that conversation. But you know, I don't think a lot of dads, go into depth. I don't really go into depth. I want my son to be his own person. He is who he is, right? Like I am who I am. he is who he is. It's all right. But being a father at the same time, like, I draw my limits and my boundaries for where I want his outline life to be, right? So, like, as he knows, I don't have to have the birds and bees conversation because we kind of, straightforward with those that I try to be, right there with him, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, blah, blah, blah. It is what it is. Reality, right? Gut check.
Yeah.
But, he also know if you walk up in my house with, you know, something that I don't approve of,
I'm better get it right.
bruh, as you know, I don't got a filter. Like, I will absolutely say what's up. Because, yeah, I mean, I love my son. I want him to be in the right spot. I want him to have the right thing. So I want somebody there for him. It's a difference, you know what I mean? But, like, don't get it wrong, too. He's young. So, but that was just a, you know, pop off podcast. Gotta mess with my son a little bit, ask him those weird little tiny questions. Um, but yeah, you said you like fish, cute, smile. All right, so let me ask you a question. What do you, now that you being in school, dabbled in sports a little bit, what do you most, what most attracts you right now? Like, what's your most appealing sport right now of all the sports that you're playing where you like, yo, that's the one sport I want to play the most? Like, and don't give me what you think I want, and don't give me what you think people want to hear. I want to hear what Adonis. What is the sport where you're like, yo, that's the sport I want to start practicing and playing more of? Because, like, you're at a young age right now, so being at such a young age, this is the age where it's perfect for you to be practicing, more and hard at right now to get where you want to be when high school and all that starts. You know what I mean? You got a couple years left, and then even then, you got your freshman year, and then really you can start, developing your skills. You know what I mean? So, like, what, you know, as you know, I'm a sports fanatic. I've done it all. So for me, it obviously it doesn't matter. I'm gonna be proud of you if you fart the right way. You know what I mean? But what do you want to do? Like,
Oh
what
no.
sport is the sport that attracts you the most of all the sports?
See, I'm not sure because I just started playing sports in school. Okay, for some of y'all, I might be a little late for me. Don't worry about that. Mind your own business. But the thing is, so I've only started playing track.
Running
It's pretty
track.
fun.
Mhm.
That should get me ready for like everything else because obviously it's gonna evolve for running. So, but the ones I probably most want to do track, I'm not like, oh, track started, let's go. I'm not all that, but I'm
Mhm.
also not like, oh, track, cool. Like, oh, I'm right in the middle. I like it, but I really started for like basketball or football.
I was the same way. I ain't gonna knock you.
Yeah.
Like, I did track because I was fast, but it wasn't the sport that I like. There were guys that were on a track team that, like, they were fast and they wanted to run track because that's what they did. For me, I ran it because I was fast and I felt like it was a waste not to. And it track builds you for the rest of your sport. So if you guys out there that play sports, like, you know, any type of, track that you're gonna do, as your coaches will probably tell you, and I'm not a coach, I'm not your coach or anybody's coach to tell you, but usually how to go is you want to run the 100 well, run it to 200 strong, and then practice on your starts. You know what I mean? Because you got to catch that stride and know where your stride's at to catch it. I used to always try to overrun myself. Track, I try to keep going faster and faster. There's a peak you're gonna get to. Catch that and ride it. I think that's how I pulled my hamstring. Plus, I was not feeling well out there. But long story short. But for you, I think that's going to be good because it's going to build it. Basketball, football is the ones that I think you should, you're going to be, my son's going to be a lot taller than I am. Facts. But, that athleticism, I think you're already starting to show and you haven't even gotten a chance to start getting your real athleticism yet. You know what I mean? So, like, when you start peaking, you're going to be well over where you need to be at, but this is the time you want to play the sports at those levels. You know what I mean? Because when you're playing them now, you're learning the rules. You're learning how to play under those rules. Because that's the big thing I think people forget. Like, you could be great at something like football, but if you don't know the rules, you're going to be playing weary. It ain't nothing worse than playing weary. Playing weary meaning like you're out there playing, but you're not playing to the best of your abilities because you're nervous of everything you're doing is going to be the wrong thing, or I didn't do it right, or I did do this right, or I may messed up the play, or I'm trying to remember what that play is. Rather than after a couple years of playing, football is football. So when the X and O's start coming, it's just like, all right, this you ain't worried about the whole cadence in the playbook. You worried about your part inside the playbook and what the people that are going to be around you doing things are doing.
Yeah, it kind of like distracts you. Like you can't
So
memorize everybody's things. Like,
correct.
You're focused on like your own.
There's only one person memorizing everybody's steps. That's probably the quarterback.
That messed me up one time because.
Nah, you're before we get into a football talk, because I want to focus the conversation and keep it there. But before we get into football talk, because you are loving the test, skill set, unbelievable. But when it comes to attention, butterfly. So anyway, but no, I'm developing your football skills is gonna be fun, because I see you similarly playing the positions I played: kick returner, punt returner. Probably some sort of safety or cornerback, which would have been mine. Island corner. If you're going to be bigger than me, you're going to be a shutdown island corner, which would be, right up. That'll be, if you get that size, it's a no-brainer. And then all the other stuff I want you to do what you want to do. It's just fun for me because I've been there. I'd be able to steer you into the right directions, but also work on the things that need to be worked on. Like I remember working on a lot of this stuff when I was playing football, but not focusing on the right stuff, not knowing what I was supposed to be really focusing on. Like, oh, I want to be a good receiver. And I'm over here focusing on this other stuff. And it's like, no. I should have been focusing on route running. Should have been focusing on catching, like hands. You know what I mean? I should have been focused on, how I do my steps real quick and, cut out but I wasn't, and it's like by the time you start focusing on it, it's like, man, I'm so late compared to everybody else. So like, yeah, it's making a difference now, but imagine if I had this last year. For you though, it's like, because y'all don't know, I've coached my son now twice younger year.
Yeah, I-9 and this year.
Yeah, so coached him twice. He's gotten tremendously better both years. You just see the step ups, but it's gonna be weird having him not with me, but being able to work on his individual talent at home, one-on-one. I think that's the better part because I can work on those little things that I know that they're gonna be drilling. I played, ball in college. I know what it's like. I know how demanding the drills are. It's completely different than high school. Everything's videotaped. Everything's on, everything's on cadence. You're moving one place to the next, and it's real. Things are real. So there ain't no hiding. There ain't no hiding. Everybody gonna see you. You gonna get used to it. It's gonna toughen you up quick, but you gonna be ready for that. And I'm ready for that. Basketball, that's something where on your mom's side, like they all play ball. That's what they do in basketball, and they all tall. So, you got that. That's always good. I ain't the greatest hooper in the world. I have fun with it, but not the greatest.
You're like better at football.
Much better at football. Yeah. Football, track, probably much better for me.
Track's probably the easiest one. Well, okay, I can't say that actually. See, they're hard in their own way.
Well, practice is always hard, but one thing you're gonna learn very soon here is that when you start getting into sports in middle school and college, or middle school and high school, you're gonna start noticing that it starts picking up. And what I mean by picking up is when you first come in, they work you harder. Meaning like you're gonna start the season off doing these really, really hard drills all the time. And you're not gonna notice it at first because you're just like, oh, is this track all the time? But what's gonna happen is after like week 3 or 4 of you doing this constantly, your body is gonna get used to it. So it's gonna seem like it's not burning as much, but then after that, you're gonna start cutting down on how much running you're doing. And the reason is because then you're going to start running in track meets. So now your legs got to be fresh. So now it's all going to be like warming work to keep you fresh. So, your daily works aren't going to be as hard. It's going to be more like, all right, push this 400. Push this, a couple 400s at like 75%. You know what I mean? So that's here nor there. But watching you get there is gonna be pretty cool, man. Watch out for Batman, man. You don't want him to get you in the middle of your sleep. So like, but nah, man, watching you is it's been awesome, man. It's different, definitely different as a dad watching your son, do things in front of you. It's trying to be proud, especially when you're a coach. It's like trying to not be too proud and overly excited, because it's like your son, but it's like you gotta still show that same
energy toward everybody else.
Yeah, energy towards all the other kids too, which I do. I genuinely do love watching. Any of the guys that play for me play. They all show like spurts of like just great things. I think children of the future, man. They got it. But of course, when you see your own son do something, man, makes you want to jump through a damn roof. But yeah, man, I just feel like going in these middle school years as a father for you, I love you very much. So like staying on top of being in your life for those real conversations that's going to come that you're going to need real answers for, real, things you're going to question. You know what I'm saying? You're about to be in those years. And when you get into those years, we'll handle that. You know what I'm saying? You got me for that.
Yeah.
That's what I'm here for. And that's why I keep such a straight conversation with the two of us. You understand?
Yeah.
All right, man. So since we both know that, that, seems like I got my other son at the door. I'm going to let this son go. All right. So, y'all.
What's up? I'm the GOAT. I'm Donis's GOAT. You should go check out my channel. Go check out my Twitch. Go check out my YouTube. Be greatly appreciated. I'll drop some banger gameplays. Shouts to my dad for having me here.
All that. As y'all know, that's the next me. That's the future. And there's another one at the door. So much love. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being in the cave. You made it to the Pop Off Podcast. This was vibing with the little ones. We'll chop this up. Let y'all sit. Till next time.
Yeah, we definitely about to piss somebody off today.